Alright, gang, welcome back to our Adventure Survival here on Szpakowo. It is now July, and the onslaught of harvesting has begun. We have quite a number of fields today that are going to need to be harvested. We are going to be utilizing workers to our advantage, and it's going to be a big day. We probably are going to have to do 2 episodes, I would suspect, here in July, just based off of how much there actually is to do. But it's going to be exciting, nonetheless. And as you can see straight ahead, the first field that is ready to harvest is our canola field. That we're going to come to. If we look at the map, we've got the canola field, all of these fields, this field, there's just a plethora of fields for us to harvest today. And that's a good thing, right? That's not a bad thing. It's definitely a good thing. But we are going to be very, very busy, to say the least. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're all doing well. I am feeling a little bit better. I do still have this cough that is kind of just lingering on here. I haven't gone to the doctor yet, but I'm considering doing it since this cough is still kind of lingering. But we will see. So if I have to do any kind of cuts or edits or anything like that that are kind of weird and not what you would expect, that is the reason why. I either had a coughing fit or whatever it may have been. So just wanted to make sure I prefaced that right off the bat there and apologized ahead of time in case that does happen. But how's everyone doing? I hope you're doing well. Things are good here, man. Things are real good, actually. We're coming to the end here, man. On this series, there's going to be a bunch of harvests to do here in a row, and then the winter months will kind of come. And if we have anything specifically left to sell by those winter months, we will do that. But yeah, we'll kind of see where we ended up with as far as how much money we'll have in the bank by then, and we kind of accomplished the goals of what we kind of set out for this series, which was to kind of buy this whole entire row, which we've accomplished. Minus a little asterisk, minus that little tiny spot over there, but it just doesn't make any sense. We wouldn't do anything with it anyway, so it doesn't really make any sense to get that one. But as I mentioned here on this section, at least with the honey here, we will just be selling. We will be doing the first couple of passes ourselves here, the first headland pass type of harvest here on this field, just so that way we don't have the issue of the worker, getting stuck or concerned about how close they are to the honey, which they would typically probably not harvest this whole field because the beehives here are too close to the edge of the actual field itself. So we will definitely go around twice here, and then we can probably put this on a worker and then go grab the other harvester and get started elsewhere. Now, as far as the fields that we have to harvest today, what do we got? Well, we've got, this is our canola field. We've got a wheat field, a barley field, an oat field, and another canola field. And 2 more canola fields, excuse me. Multiple canola fields. Now, we will be putting this canola into our mill to try to make ourselves a little bit more money. I do believe we still have everything kind of on auto-selling right now. Now, could I make more money by not having an auto-selling? Yeah, I definitely could. But I think we're far enough along at this point that, putting it on auto-selling and maybe losing a tiny bit of money during the seasons when it's not the best price is okay. We've already looked at it multiple times, the oil, the flowers, etc. The price, it fluctuates. It definitely fluctuates, but it's not anything outrageous or crazy. So I'm not really too concerned. I'm not going to worry about it that much, I guess is how I should put it. Now, my other series is starting to move along nicely. If in case you have yet to watch that one, or if you're a little bit behind, here's a kind of a bit of a spoiler, but 6 episodes in, and we finally were able to actually purchase some land of our own, so we're making some good progress there. So if you haven't checked that one out, I highly recommend you do it. I'm having a blast on it. It's on the fantastic map from Giants, the DLC map for the Highlands Fishing. Kinlag, I don't know, something like that, however you say it. Beautiful map, absolutely beautiful. The best map they've ever made, and it's not even close. Oh, I must have put that on a worker. Whoops. And it's not even close how good that map is, so. And this series will be coming to an end. We do have another series that will be taking its place almost immediately. I'm working out the finalized kinks of that, and real quickly, I will just mention this, a bit of a shameless plug for my members and my membership on the channel, but we will be kind of doing a bit of a setup on that here for the members series video of November. Now, that probably won't be out until after Thanksgiving for those of you that are members. Mostly just because, you know, with Thanksgiving coming, we've got a lot of people coming to our house. We're hosting, at least my wife's family is being hosted at our house. Plus some friends of ours who don't really have any family members, right? We invite them to it. So we are hosting for the first time ever, so we're going to be pretty busy over the next couple of days just trying to get the house in a shape where my wife won't scream at me, and just obviously starting to make food and stuff. So funny thing about what we're doing, we're making way too much food, honestly, way too much food, but that's what her family does all the time. They love leftovers. We did I don't know if anyone ever done this before or not, but we did a meat raffle recently. I don't know if you've ever heard of that or anything, but it's basically it's all for like a you know, good cause, but they just bring in a bunch of meat and you bid on meats, and the way you bid on it is you buy basically raffle tickets, and they draw, or they don't draw, they spin like a wheel, like a big wheel. If you've ever been to like a festival or anything like that, you know they've got the big wheel with a bunch of numbers on it, or sometimes it's even, you know, very minimalistic where it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, you know, and if it hits one of those, then you win. It's similar to that, but like on steroids. There's thousands of numbers on it. And if you happen to hit one of those numbers, then you get to go up and make a selection of meat that they are raffling off on that specific raffle. So that happens multiple times throughout the night. It was something, man. It was. I've never experienced anything like that. It was something different for sure, but it was kind of fun. But anyway, in that raffle, we ended up actually gaining one turkey, and then the friends of ours who don't have a whole lot of family members are the ones that got us to go to that. They ended up getting a turkey, so they kind of donated that turkey to our Thanksgiving dinner as well. So we're going to have 2 turkeys for Thanksgiving, which is crazy. They're 2 like 12-pound turkeys, so 24 pounds turkey. It's going to be nuts, but I guess nobody will complain about not having or not being able to get enough turkey, because there's going to be plenty of it. But yeah, if you've ever done or experienced a meat raffle, comment meat down below. I want to know if you've ever done a meat raffle, because that's the first I've ever heard of this. I don't know if this is a more southern thing, or if it's, you know, just a very much heavy country thing. I don't know, but it's happened in what is, it's not really, but what is, might as well be our town that we live in. Basically, it's right next to where we live, the town. It's not, we're considered a different town, but we're like on the outskirts of that town that we technically live in, if that makes sense. So anyway, they were doing it, and it's not like, I mean, there's definitely parts of it, I've mentioned that before, there's parts of this area that still are country, there's still crop fields and stuff, but there's, I mean, they're becoming far and few between. If you drive 20 minutes out of the way, 15, 20 minutes, yeah, there's plenty of them, but right now where I'm at, it's becoming less and less. There's more and more subdivisions and just general things popping up, businesses and schools, etc., right? So, but it's interesting, man. I'm gonna put this on a worker now. So if you have, for whatever reason, if you have experienced that, I want to know. I want to know, because I feel like I'm going to be doing this every year now. It was pretty funny. A little overwhelming how many people were there, but it was fun, man. It was a good time. I want to know if that's just something that crazy Ohio people do, or if that's a kind of a thing all around the board, or maybe it's just a thing in certain areas. I know a couple people said they still didn't even like the color that I changed this to, but I do like this color. I like it better than the other color, that's for sure. This just, to me, looks more like a kind of a standard John Deere green type of color. It's not John Deere green, but, you know, it's similar. Now, the big thing about this we've talked about, right, is we might want to buy another trailer for the semi, right? So we can drop a trailer off in certain areas and then kind of move on from there. And because that's the kind of the problem we're dealing with here is this one specifically, this harvester here specifically, it's not really, doesn't really have a big, massive capacity, right? So it might be even beneficial for us to get a third harvester and just maybe sell the header on this one and utilize this only for the perspective of, you know, doing the sunflowers and the corn, right? Because that's the reason why we really got it, because of the sunflowers and the corn possibility. But this thing just doesn't really hold a whole lot. So I think we're going to put this on a worker for right now, and we're going to go grab the semi. Oh, actually, as a matter of fact, I need to go turn on the stones. What am I thinking here? Turn the stones on, Z. Come on, buddy, get it together. Let's turn the stones on. Oh, there's a lot of stones in there now. Alright, perfect. That's moving. So let's get into the semi. And what we're going to do is we're going to buy another trailer here. I know that's going to drop us down from the $138,000 we have, but I do think we need it. I've mentioned that already. Especially with how many harvests we're going to be doing here over the next couple of months. Definitely episodes, but months as well. I think it's going to be beneficial for us to have two trailers. We got rid of the other trailer for multiple reasons. We've already talked about that. I won't go over that again. But in previous episodes, I explained why we did that. We've never had two semi-trailers, and I think that is the better approach for us. The semi is fast. We can move and you know, be agile and get this semi to multiple places quickly. So it shouldn't be a big problem, I guess is what I'm trying to get at, to have only one semi but two trailers, because we can just drop a trailer off just like we did there, and then whenever our harvester is full, we can just drive the harvester over there and unload it, right? Now, I do apologize, I've mentioned already, but I'm going to apologize one more time in case I still do sound nasally. I feel like I am. I feel like I still have, you know, a lot of drainage and stuff going on, but like I said, overall, I feel much better. I just still am dealing with the repercussions here of this sickness, which entails a pretty severe cough. And, well, as I just mentioned, the drainage type of stuff. But, and as I already told you, that small harvester is already almost full. So that's the big thing about that small one, right, is that it just gets full so quickly. So that's why more than likely what we're going to end up doing with that one is do some of the smaller fields with it and make sure we utilize the cloths for the bigger fields, if that makes sense. What's in the used market for us? Anything? No. Nothing at all. Didn't think there would be, but, you know, it's always worth a check. All right, so semi-trailers. The one we were utilizing is this Randon here. Now, we do have the option... Well, we want the old model for sure. We do have the option here for a bigger capacity. And maybe we should get that. I'm going to keep it the low one, actually. I'm going to keep it the low one. I think that's going to be enough anyway. With wood. What does that mean? Must be inside. But you can't really see it with that. Can't really see that with that on there, so... Oh, those are stickers, fenders, original fenders. I want the originals. You know, really everything can kind of stay the same, honestly, in my opinion. Let's just buy that. Pretty expensive, but, you know, it's worth it. It's worth it. Right, both of them nearly have full tanks now, so we definitely need to get this going here. I think the cloth also is probably going to require a little gas at some point soon, too. The only way we're going to know the difference between these two, honestly, is the fact that we've got, you know, different cover colors. Everything else is going to look relatively similar. I probably should have made the cover color red to match our semi, because the other one's black. But that's alright. I'm going to get this down here so we can go ahead and get unloaded here with the worker, but I suspect the worker might actually get close to finishing that field before it's empty. Certainly looks like it's going to. Is he going to reach? Might just be because the worker ended and they turned it off, but that's exactly why. Alright, so we'll take this. Oh, this is the worst spot to be in, worker. I don't know where you... Why did you put it all over here? This is terrible. And there's a prime example of what I was talking about with the bees. If you look up there by that little twig, it didn't want to harvest that because it was concerned about it. So, you know, it is what it is. Probably put that trailer in the worst spot possible. Put it right down the middle. Like, that's the worst spot I could put that in. Oh well. A little bit of a reach, so I'm glad I didn't go to the bigger trailer there. That was a little bit of a reach for that one to get there. So we're going to head down here, and we're going to continue. I'm going to continue to have the Kloss here do the canola harvest for the time being, and then we'll kind of move along, if needed, from there for any of the other fields. Now, just quickly, just so we're all kind of in the same boat here. This series is going to end, as all of you have kind of agreed about, agreed to, I guess is how I should put it. You all think I should go this way. This series is going to end in a way where it's still a working farm. We're not going to sell everything off, right? So because of those reasons, while we still have things to harvest, we are, when possible, we are going to be re-drilling these fields, even though we won't be harvesting them again. We will be re-drilling these fields because it should be a working farm. We're not just going to leave these fields empty when we end the series, right? We're going to continue that process, if you will, just to make sure that that continues to stay as it should be, and we're continuing to actually operate as a farm, which is what we've kind of agreed that we should be doing here. So this might be a little too close here, but you know, we're gonna put it here anyway, and we'll see what happens. So we're going to take over here, again, for harvesting this field, specifically for right now. Eventually the worker's definitely going to be doing this again, but we're going to take over for the time being. Hopefully I gave enough room for the worker there. I think I did, but if not, I guess we'll have to, you know, touch it up and modify it at that point, right? And don't forget, gang, the competitive one-tile challenge, the first episode will be out this Saturday. I'm going to shameless plug that every once in a while here, especially at the early on stages, and make sure you go give a follow if you haven't done so already, or a subscription to Rusty Money Gaming and Crustu. They are good friends of the channel, so make sure you go check them out. I'm sure you probably already have, but if you haven't, go check them out nonetheless. Very, very excited for that series to start. As a matter of fact, the time of this recording, that series is going to be recorded tonight. This episode will be out before that recording's out, but the actual recording of it will be tonight. With Crustu and Rusty Money, we'll be doing that recording tonight, the very first one. So we'll see how things go. All the details of that, for the most part, except for some minor things that we'll talk about when the series begins, are all in the post that I made over the last weekend. Kind of announcing it. So if you want to see, you know, what we're starting with, what the restrictions are, what the rules are, etc. They're all pretty much there, the exception of a couple minor things. You know, you guys didn't tell me I've been rambling for 20 minutes. What are you guys talking? Why are you not yelling at me? I'm kidding. I know you can't yell at me. You can in the comments now, but you can't yell at me when I'm doing the recording. I know. Speaking of that, a lot of people asked if we were going to do any kind of a live stream or anything like that for that series. We're not going to, at least not this time. Perhaps in a future version of it, maybe. Maybe we will then, but we're not going to right now. It already is kind of a little bit of a difficult logistics to do alone with 3 of us, right? It's hard for all 3 of our schedules to align properly, so we think we have... oh, I just killed some. We think we have a decent setup, and when I mean a decent setup, when I say decent setup, what I mean is the day that we're going to be doing the recording on, we think we've got this kind of in a spot where all 3 of us will 99% of the time be able to, you know, record. But nonetheless, that is still something we have to think about, right? Hopefully, maybe when, you know, all of us are having a little bit more of downtime, not around the holiday season, like right now, for example, right? Maybe there will be some periods of time where we'll be able to do, you know, a couple episodes. Woo, that did not work. You know, a couple episodes a month, or a month. Well, yeah, I guess that could work that way too. But what I really was trying to say is a couple episodes, you know, per week, right? Maybe there'll be occasion where we might be able to do 2 per week, something like that. It really is just going to depend on schedules for all 3 of us. It's difficult, for sure. If you've ever tried to run an online multiplayer competitive series, it's difficult to get everybody's schedules to align, right? Everyone always has something going on, and sometimes when you don't normally have something going on, then something all of a sudden comes up that you do, right? So, we'll see. But for now, expect it to be every Saturday, released every Saturday, for the foreseeable future. And if anything happens where we're going to have more than one per week during that week or per week or whatever, I will absolutely 100% update you and let you know. All right, I've rambled on for long enough. It's 22 minutes now. I've rambled on for long enough. Let's get to work here, getting some of this stuff harvested. We're probably going to get everything harvested today, and then a second episode here in July to, you know, clean up the rest of it, whether it's picking up some straw, redoing some drilling if possible. I don't even know if we can do any drilling today. I should already have all this in memory, but I don't. We cannot do any drilling today, but, you know, even if we don't get everything done, we can get all the straw up. We can do some other things as well. There'll be other things for us to do for sure. We don't necessarily have to get the straw up today. We can get the straw up in the next episode, right? But, and whether that next episode is in July or if it's in August, it doesn't really matter to me. We'll figure that out when we get to that stage, right? All right. That was pretty good. It was a long time last, but we got a lot done. All of the fields, with the exception of the one that the worker is actively working on right now, are all harvested. Things are looking good. Don't think we're going to be doing a second episode in July like I kind of mentioned at the beginning. I think we'll probably just hold off and do that 2 episodes in August, more than likely, because we're going to have some more fields, I think, to harvest then. And we have to do all of the straw pickup, right? So I think we'll probably just hold off and do that then, instead of doing another episode here in July just to do the straw and a few other minor things. We can't really, as we looked, right, we can't really drill a whole lot of anything. Nothing that we actually have that we can do right now, besides oilseed radish, for obvious reasons that can be done. But yeah, so I think we won't do a second episode here in July, but we definitely will probably be doing 2 in August. I think we're going to have to, just given how much we're going to have to do. Now, not every field has to be re-drilled, as we did in the last time, right? Because we're going to have stuff for, you know, oats and things like that aren't going to be ready to re-drill until next season. You know, carrots, corn, sunflowers, you know, all that stuff that typically cannot be have a late drill, won't be able to be done. So. Alright, we're just going to put that right here for now, I think. Perfect. And let's see how the worker's doing. They're doing alright there. We might have to bring that back over here. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get this whole field harvested or not within this, the hopper here of the harvester, but we'll find out. If we do, we do. We have to bring it back. For now, what I would like to do, though, is jump into the Massey Ferguson. We need to do a few other, you know, kind of maintenance type of stuff today. More specifically, we need to move the honey back over here into the hat production. We need to move the goat milk over here for our goat cheese production as well. Just a couple of the, you know, the normal stuff that we would want to take care of pretty much every month. All of those honey, what's the word I'm looking for? Why am I blanking on the word? I was going to say honey hives. I guess that works, but that's not really the word I'm looking for. All the ones we put down, and we're still only producing not even a pallet worth every month, which is insane to me. They really changed the way that the bees work in FS25, man. Goats are jumping over there, having a blast in the distance there. I think our goat sanctuary here, our goat pen, is almost maxed out. Yep, 50 out of 54, so there's room for 4 more animals. Ooh, does it need water? It almost looks like it needed water. It might. 705 liters. We probably should top that off, too, while we're at it. I don't know how much we have in here. Almost 2 full ones. So we'll get these back over here, and then, like I said, we'll bring some water into the goats, and then if there's still some stuff to do as far as the harvest goes, we'll take over at that point, get that done. That'll pretty much be it for today's episode, I think, at that point. It was a very productive day, though, man. We got a lot done. A lot done. What was that? 6 fields? Is that what we did? 6 fields today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6 fields. That's a lot, man. That's a lot. Now, next month, let me see here. As a matter of fact, I don't think we're going to have much next month that's going to be ready. This one will be. The grass, obviously, will be ready. I think that might be it. So maybe it'll be perfect. Maybe it'll be perfect for us to do the straw and then do those harvests next month. Maybe we won't actually have as much to do as I'm expecting in August. Having 2 harvesters has helped us out tremendously, man. We definitely need to do that. That was a must. All right, the goat milk's in there, so we should be producing more of that now. So that is good. I'm going to go ahead and park this over here again temporarily. We'll jump over to the John Deere and fill up some water there for the goats. We've got more eggs that have spawned there. As a matter of fact, I probably screwed up with the chickens. I think they need more food. They do, and I put a bunch of it in there. There is probably some in here. Oh, maybe not. I think I might have just screwed that up a bit. Although, there should be plenty of wheat and stuff in here. So yeah, maybe we'll get some of that out of there. When I say get some of that out of there, I mean get some of the wheat or whatever out of there to give to the chickens. It probably is a smart thing to do, although I don't think they're going to need a ton. But we should still do a little bit, I think. So we'll do that here in just a second. Alright, we got that. Just gonna unhook that guy for the time being. Since we already have the trailer over here and our normal standard place there, it's been most of the series, we'll go ahead and just use this one. Very, very happy with how the whole farm, you know, turned out, how it looks and everything. I think it looks pretty good, man. I really do. I really like it. We did a pretty good job overall. This is going to be probably hard for me to get because I kind of put this fence here now, but we'll give it a shot and see what we can do here. It's going to be difficult to back this up too. I'm probably going to jackknife it a couple of times, but we're going to give it a shot anyway. Alright, there we go. Let's grab some wheat. I'm going to grab quite a bit, I think, because we've got enough in there to make some flour out of that. So let's just grab quite a bit, because we've got a lot of chickens, right? We've got a lot of chickens, so I definitely should have thought about this before I put everything in here, but you know, it's too late now, I guess, right? So alright, that's going to be plenty, I think. We'll take that. The rest of it can stay in there and make flour for us and make us some money. But this should be plenty, really, in theory. Alright, so the chickens should be back to good. Well, by the time the next month comes around, they should be back in a good spot. And let's take a peek and see how our harvester's doing. I kind of feel like we're gonna be able to get this whole thing harvested here. I'm just gonna go ahead and stop that there at this point. We're gonna kind of take over here. I don't know. It's going to be close because we're almost 50% full here, and we really have a lot left on here. A lot more than I thought just when I was looking at it initially. So we may need to get that trailer back over here. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to have to. So we did a really, really long time lapse already on this this episode, so I don't want to do another time lapse if I can help it. So we'll just do a bit of a jump cut here. I'm going to get the rest of this done, and then well, we're close to being done, I guess I should say, and then I'll be back with you at that point. All right, we are pretty much done here, gang. We're not going to have to bring the trailer over here. We can just drive the combine over there and the harvester and unload directly from the combine or the harvester here, which is nice. And just this little tiny spot here missed, and otherwise we are done. Very productive, very good day. We're going to make, I guess I should say, a lot of money off all this. After it's been processed, of course, through the mill. Did not get any gas for the combine, the harvester here, but we will do that next episode for sure, or the next time we go to harvest. We'll definitely have to do that. Just want to make sure we get, keep this thing having enough gas in it for the remainder of the series here. We don't want it to run out of gas while we're in the middle of doing a harvest. That would be a disaster. Well, that went well. That went really well. Good thing it figured out it was trying to go on top of there and it fixed itself. Good thing. Otherwise, we were going to have to go borrow the forklift there, the wheel loader. Front loader, whatever. So we're going to drop off the header here, back near its location. I'm not going to actually put it away specifically. I can do that off camera. And then we'll head on over to the mill here and just dump the remainder of this in there to make ourselves a little bit more flour in the process. Had another pallet of goat cheese spawn there, as you can see, so that's good. Whoa! We did that last time. I think I got a little bit too close to the actual the actual windmill itself. But with that, gang, we're going to leave the episode there. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would appreciate it if you smash the like and subscribe button in the case you've yet to do so. Those things help me out absolute ton more than you could possibly imagine, and they are both free to do. If you want to become a member, there's a link down below. You get early access to videos like this one, among numerous other perks. Speaking of that, you will get at least 3 days early access to the competitive one-tile challenge as a member as well. Probably be somewhere between 3 and 4 days. It'll be more than 3 days most of the time. So if you're interested in that and you want to see those early, that is one way you can do so. My Discord's down there, my second channel link's down there, everything you need, as always, it's down below in the description. Thanks so much for watching, thanks so much for your continued support, it means the world, and I'll see you next time.